Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Wait, hold on. Now I can't hear you.
You can't?
Now I can.
Oh,
Okay, great.
okay.
Hi,
Hi,
good morning.
good morning. This is so much
It
fun.
is. It is. This is crazy.
I know. It's like this is better than Marco Polo because we're live.
I know. You can hear me clearly though. I have
I
the fan
can.
going.
I can hear you
Okay.
fine. I'm gonna try to turn this thing up. Let's see if that's better. Oh yeah. So
Can
I
you hear
can
me?
yeah, I can hear you much
Okay.
better now.
All right. Perfect.
They're welding. Fred went upstairs and checked to make sure that, we were good.
Yeah.
And he said, no, they're just welding. Well, the welding has flashes. I feel
Uh-huh.
like I'm in a psychedelic disco or
Yeah.
something.
Where are the mushrooms when you need them,
Yeah,
right?
right. I know, right? We'll be editing this part out.
Yeah. Oh my God. So what is going on, Hermana? How are you?
I'm good, sweetie. I'm so glad you could do this. Hold on a second. Do I need my inhaler? Hold on. I'm going to stop
Uh-oh.
recording for a second. Hold on.
Okay. All righty.
Recording in progress. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
uh, Fred goes, oh God, I'm gonna leave. I'm going to Walmart because I know this is gonna be so.
Oh, well, too bad. He's going to miss out on the fun.
I know, right? So, Hermana, everybody probably should know your name because maybe there's some people that won't know your name and they're
I'm
going,
sure. I'm
she's,
sure there's
she's
plenty of
calling her
people that
Hermana.
don't.
Okay, please share with us your name, even though it's on the
Which
screen.
one?
Oh, okay. Your real name, and then you
Rachel.
Rachel. The
My
real name
real
is
name is Rachel.
the real name is Rachel.
Yep.
And Rachel, you were on, actually, you have more than one account on Instagram.
Yes.
But we'll get to that.
Okay.
Um, Tell me something. I'm trying to remember. How long have we known each other?
Oh, gosh. For a really long time.
I know, huh?
Many, 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 many years. I
Many
would
years.
have to scroll back years to see. It,
I
it's been,
know, right?
yeah, it's been a long time. I want to say, if I'm gonna take a wild guess, I'm gonna say between 6 and 8 years.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
Because I was trying to think, but I was like, I can't go all the way back. But I
yeah,
think that that's right because we were still in Florida for sure.
yes, I
And
remember that.
right. So, and I was trying to think back where in Florida, but that doesn't matter. As long as I knew we were in Florida. And
Right.
we've known each other for quite a long time. And we our relationship has grown. A lot of people think that social media is surface, and it
Right.
can be that. But I think in certain relationships, it's actually grows relationships. And
Right.
so over time, ours has really grown, I would say.
Yes.
Um, so I think the good place to start is when did you start yoga? Why did you start yoga? Anything you want to share about your yoga practice?
Um, Believe it or not, I started yoga on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I started my account. My account was originally a hiking account. Because Brian and I used to go hiking up at the Catskills all the time, and it was just so beautiful and picturesque. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me open up an Instagram account and start documenting,
Mm-hmm.
these places that we go to. Then there was a couple of yogis, and I knew that by their name. It was like name Yogi or something yoga,
Right, right, right,
whatever.
right.
They would comment on my hiking posts. So I click onto their page and see their amazing yoga pictures. And I was like, oh, wow. And then it kind of slowly grew from there. So
Mm-hmm.
my account shifted from hiking to yoga.
Isn't that funny? Because
Yeah.
my account shifted from thrifting to yoga.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. That is
Like totally
interesting.
not connected. And so what I did was I changed my name and then I started the other account.
Right.
We just had many iterations, but it trying to get them sort of separated is not
Yeah.
always as easy as
N-
one thinks, right?
No, not at all. And I don't know how you do it. I cannot keep track of my accounts. Like I'm mostly on my yoga account.
Yeah, me
And
too.
then I have another account that's just, I just post my family
Right.
pictures and things like that. And I find that I'm not keeping up with my personal
Mm-hmm.
account
Mm-hmm.
because I've been so busy and involved with the yoga account. It's been
Right.
overwhelming.
Uh,
So ever since I started losing storage on my phone, I've been better at, you
I
know,
noticed.
you noticed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that you've been posting and you're like, this is a throwback. And I'm like, when did she do
Yeah.
that? I
Yeah.
know.
It's all throwbacks.
You are so busy on Instagram yoga, the yoga community. Your account has grown tremendously over the years. And I don't mean um followers. I don't mean
Right.
that at all.
Right.
I
Right.
just mean the change in what you post, the change in like I'm gonna say, I mean you've got your yoga teacher training, you can share that in a second. Um your asana practice, it's just grown over time. So share a little bit about that, how that's grown.
Well, I have to thank the IG yoga community for that. Because I think it's grown from joining challenges and just watching everyone and
Right.
trying to learn what everyone else is doing. And I'm self-taught. You know, I watch what people do and I'll watch the videos, but sometimes watching what someone does doesn't mean
Right.
that you can learn the same exact way because we all have
Right.
different body types, we all have different strengths. So you kind of have to put a little twist on your own practice and learn that way. You have to modify everything you see on Instagram because not everyone learns at the same pace
Right.
and not everyone has the same abilities.
That's right.
So I started by doing that. It started out as my husband would say, angry yoga, because if I couldn't do something, I felt like a failure. And I'm
Uh,
talking about long ago when I first started.
right.
Um,
How many
because
years has that been?
God, I want to say 9 going on 10.
Okay.
Um, and I used to get so angry with myself
Hmm.
that Brian used to get angry with me and say, "Isn't yoga supposed to be relaxing?"
Right.
And then it clicked for me. I was like, he's right. What am I doing? And I started questioning everything about Instagram yoga and what I
Hmm.
was doing and how I was reading into the posts because you see all the beautiful posts at location, these destination places. And of course I would get sad. I'm like, I wanna do that
You're
too.
right.
And of course, throughout the years, I've learned it's not all what you see.
Exactly.
People only post the best version of themselves, and not all people, but a lot of what you
Right.
see.
A lot of what you see is
Yeah,
exactly that. It's sort of pandering to the view of what yoga is. And I think all of us can get hooked up in that. I mean, I was, and in the beginning, same thing. I was like, there is no way. I would get
right.
so pissed off, not really realizing that being self-taught as well, not realizing, well, maybe you need to stretch before you even think about you can do that. You're
Exactly.
never going to be able to do it unless you stretch. Um,
Exactly. Well said, because I would not stretch in the beginning. I
right,
hurt myself a lot. And I couldn't understand. I was like, why am I hurting myself? She did it,
right.
but I didn't know.
You didn't
I
know,
didn't
right?
know. And it took all these years. And of course, you grow older and wiser. And now I stretch, and it's like, if I could do it, I can do it. If I can't, whatever. I just want to
Right.
enjoy my journey. I'm trying to enjoy it.
Right.
So now I look at it in a different light. I look at it as, what is this doing for me? What am I gaining from this? And that's my
Mm,
sole purpose of
mm,
continuing this. I want to gain something from it, because if I'm not having fun, then what's the point of doing this?
exactly.
You
Right. If
know?
you're not enjoying it and having fun, I think over time, and I'm going to say, at least for me in the last, maybe it's 6 months or more, I've been so focused on, well, is this fun or are you just doing it because it feels like an obligation?
Right,
It's someone that you follow or that follows you,
right,
and you go, oh, gee, I haven't done the whatever. And then it creates this other stuff that I don't even know if I can pinpoint it, that I don't
right.
even want to have to deal with, honestly.
Exactly, exactly. And it's, you know, it's brought up a lot of other feelings for me that are not so nice, like
Right,
trying to keep up with everyone. And I'm not talking about Asana wise. I'm talking about, like, they comment on your posts,
right,
you want to show the love back. And because my life is so complicated,
right,
I don't always have the time to
right,
go back and check my comments. I don't know how anyone does it. I don't know how people keep up, because
right,
I struggle till this day. I struggle keeping up, because now I'm trying to balance real life and my time on social media.
right.
Because I don't, ever since my son passed away,
Yeah,
David,
yeah.
I realized, real life, it's never going to happen again. This moment is never going to happen again.
Mm.
So you got to make the most of each day. So with that said, I've been spending less and less and less and less time on Instagram, and
Right,
more time in real life, enjoying real things, and spending more time with my family, and spending more time with myself.
right.
I enjoy my alone time.
Yeah, yeah, right.
you know Listen, I'm on Marco Polo more than I'm on Instagram.
Me too, me too, me too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and listen, I love Instagram. I love the Instagram yoga community. I mean, I find that the yoga community is so supportive
Mm,
and so wonderful, and just a bunch of beautiful, kind-hearted people. So because of that, I feel guilty when I can't go back immediately
right,
and respond to comments and go on their page and like all their posts. And
right,
I feel terrible, because I don't want them to think that I'm, stuck up, or I don't have time for them, or they're not valuable. And it's not
right,
that. I mean,
right,
you know what's going on in my life. My life is complicated.
right,
And it's not something that I put out there,
right,
because I don't want to burden people with my complicated life. It's too sad. It's just too complicated. And I want to keep that space a happy, fun space, where I don't want people to look at me like, woe is me.
right, right.
So I just keep it fun and whatever, and people would never know what's going on behind
I
the scenes.
know, huh?
You know,
Yeah,
you've seen me at my worst.
yeah.
You've seen me break down and cry.
That's
So
I have
yeah,
indeed.
yes.
That I think that's the over time in IG yoga land. Over time, I think there's this realization, at least for me, I think for you too, is how do you make that space more real
Hmm.
without necessarily exposing so much about who you are as a person? Because there may be particular people you're comfortable with, like you and I mean, we talk about
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
won't share all the things we talk about on here, but
Exactly.
um, you know, how to balance that. And then
Yeah.
I say to myself, but like, how important is it? because it's IG yoga. How important
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
I can't. I think in reality, most people realize that we can't no one can respond to everybody. You have thousands of followers, and all of a sudden I go, you're not showing in my feed because of IG, and I go hunt for you. How are you? Whatever. I'll send
Right.
you a DM. I don't necessarily have
Right.
to, and that's cool. And then there are people you always see because
Yes.
people's lives are very different. One thing I
Yes.
realize, Rachel, is the amount of time that some people can spend is based
Hmm.
on their lifestyle and who they
Exactly.
are. For
Right.
some people, their only connection to a social life is Instagram.
Correct.
Now that is in and of itself, mm, there's a caveat to that because why is that?
Right.
The clinician in me would say a whole bunch of things. Honestly, you
Yeah.
know, and I can see that it fills a space for people and
Right.
a place for people. However, there isn't personal contact. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So I get how some people are on there all the time. I
Yeah.
get it. And I in a lot of ways may have the time because I'm retired, not retired because I'll never retire because I'll always do something for my brain, but
Right.
I don't want it to be all of that. I mean, I want my life to be more balanced. And I think it's hard sometimes. You can't put people in categories and say, oh, okay, this is the IG, this is my list for this. And you guys know this. This is you know this and whatever. Like if they would separate it, they're never gonna do that. It's not gonna
Right.
happen.
Right.
So it really is interesting. The other thing that I realize is that some people's feeds are much more diverse than others. And I just don't mean race either.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
mean ability, um, um, uh, uh, sexual orientation. I mean the whole ball of wax. Like when you talk about your mission, there's the passion of yoga, and then there's the mission you find yourself. I do
Uh-huh.
on Instagram yoga community. So like, what's my mission?
Yeah.
What's my passion? And then I look and I know for me it is about inclusion and diversity. I know it is.
Uh-huh.
I know it
Yeah.
is. So I'll look and sometimes I might even comment on someone. I'm say, diversify your feed, you know. And it's just because I want, it's like, are you paying attention to that? Are you so absorbed in what's going on in your own? I don't know. What do you think?
Everybody, like you said before, everybody is so different and everybody's purpose is different, which I just started realizing in 2023. There are people that I've followed for years that have completely changed what they
Yeah.
post. And I'm like, whoa, what happened here? Like, you know, so,
Right.
to that I say, to each their own, because I cannot sit here and just try to figure people out because it's too confusing. I
Hello.
don't know. I don't
Right.
understand what's going on anymore. So I've come to the decision I'm just gonna stay in my lane and
There you
do
go.
me. I'm just gonna do me. I can't even begin to figure out why people do the things they do. No
Right.
clue. And we don't know. Much
Right.
like I'm sure 95% of these people who follow me don't really know me. They
Right.
don't know who I am, what I have on my plate, what I have going on a day to day. There's
Right.
very few people that I can count on one hand that know, you included, that know what's
Yeah.
going on with me,
Right. Right.
and understand if I don't reply, understand if I
Right.
haven't gotten on the DMs in a long time. And I appreciate that because, I'll have people text me, hey, haven't heard from you. Is everything okay? And I
Right.
appreciate that,
Right.
because I'm like, wow, they're paying attention. Um, and other people who don't know me may look at me like, you know, she hasn't come on my page in a while. Who does she think she is?
Right.
She thinks she's all that. So I try hard not to pass judgment because I don't know what's going on in their life.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe they're going through something, and Instagram is a way for them to,
Right.
you know, let out whatever they're feeling, their difficulties, and this is how they express themselves.
Right.
So, I did get caught up in that, you know, looking at people and being, what are they doing? That's not yoga. But then I was like, that's none of my damn business.
That's none of your business.
Right. That's
Drink
none of
water
my
and mind my
damn
business.
business. Exactly. I'm like, you know what? It's none of my business. It's just like, what I do, I'm doing for my own reasons, and it's none of their business why I do what I do.
Exactly.
I've actually had people um years ago when I was doing pet yoga come on my page and tell me that's not yoga. Why are you putting your dog through that? I
What?
was like, why don't you mind your own damn business?
Thank
You
you.
know, unfollow me if you don't like it. I couldn't believe it. I was so pissed. I was
Right.
like, how dare they come on my page and criticize what I'm doing?
Judge.
That's not yoga.
Judge. Right.
Yeah,
Like you said, everybody has their reasons. And quite honestly, there's a continuum to what really is yoga. I always say it's all yoga. I tell people
mhm,
it's all yoga. Because what I do personally, it's my personal yoga. It's like when I'm
exactly.
teaching yoga, which hasn't been in a minute, but
Yeah,
I always say, this is your yoga. I mean,
right.
you do you. If I'm in front of a group of people, I can remember saying, there, you want to go up and wheel? Go for it, girl.
Yeah,
This yogi
yeah,
body ain't doing that. It
right,
can't do that.
right.
But I think when you're authentic, it comes through. It's when you're not authentic, I will own, I start to judge.
Yeah,
I start to
yeah.
judge.
I
I'm
get
like,
that. I get that. I
yeah,
get that. Yes. I know exactly
I
what you're
will, I
talking
will
about.
admit it. It's like, well, that just wasn't authentic.
Right.
Even that comment was not like, I'll read other people's comments and I'll
Yeah,
go, oh, that was a bit of a dig. What was
yeah.
that?
I see
Um,
that too. And I'm like, oh,
I'm like, whoa, that's like not whoa.
yeah.
Wait, let me ask you this question. Do you see any I don't know, challenges based on all of who you are, a mom, a wife, all of those things? I put a timer on so that I know that I have X amount of time left. I'm only doing freebie people on Zoom until I decide I'm gonna pay for it. But anyway, um, I mean, I forgot what I was saying. But do you
That's
see
me.
any challenges in um being able to, based on all of the titles that you have, all the hats that you
Hmm.
put on,
Hmm.
how maybe this is how I'm going to ask it. How has yoga helped you? Maybe that's how I'll put it. All the
It's
hats you have on.
it's helped me be more social, honestly.
Ah,
It's helped me be more social. I After I retired, I was just up here. Didn't have any friends up here. Didn't
ah,
really, you know, do anything except I'm with the kids and my husband. I retired before him. So it wasn't until, and I became a homebody. He
uh-huh.
didn't retire until 5 years after me.
It was 5 years. Oh,
So
wow.
for those 5 years, I was a homebody by myself, just doing the mom transport thing and doing my own thing, homemaker. And when he retired, that's when I started venturing out and doing things and going hiking with him when the kids were in school and doing things. And it wasn't until I started, well, I was on Facebook first,
Mm-hmm.
but Facebook got to be too much for me. It was just so negative that
Mm.
I got off Facebook. I just couldn't deal with it. And then after we started hiking and stuff, I opened up Instagram, and then slowly, started
Mm-hmm.
meeting people, and I couldn't believe how nice
I know,
people
huh?
were. I was like, wow, because you got to
Right.
remember, I was born and raised in New York City. Okay. Lived in the ghetto,
Mm-hmm.
went to school in the city, worked in the city. So I am used to dealing with nasty,
Mm.
miserable people. And that's one of the reasons why when I moved upstate, I kept to myself. I was like, I don't want to deal with people. I moved away to get away from that. I just, I was like this, didn't want to
Right,
know
right, right,
nothing
right,
about
right.
nothing. So Facebook showed me that I didn't want to deal with people. I was like, oh, I can't, too much negativity. Instagram, though, specifically the IG yoga community, wow, what an incredible
Yeah.
community. I mean, just so kind. And the kind messages and the people motivating me and giving me
Right.
tips and just DMing me, hi, how are you? And I was just like, oh wow,
Right.
Sharon, I've never experienced so much kindness from strangers in
Right.
my life. So that's another motivating factor for me to stay on. I've made a lot of wonderful connections, like you and I, and there are other people I've made connections with. And I mean, I'm in awe of how kind people are. I mean, you have your little bits here and there that are a
Sure.
little like, cuckoo, but other
Right.
than that, yeah, for the most part, people are just so kind.
Right.
And that's what, in part, helps me to stay connected. And I don't know if I answered your
No,
question,
you
but
did, because about being more social and
yeah,
finding a niche. I think that that's so very true as I think back. Um, and I go, wow, I was like, is that a genuine comment? I found myself assessing, are you really being real? Are
uh-huh,
people really this
uh-huh.
nice on here? But it's
Yes,
very true. It's
it
very, very
is.
true. And I think you hit the nail on the head, at least for me, is it's the kindness of the people and the support and the caring that keeps me on. It really
Yes,
does, because I have my moments. It's like, I'm done. I'm not
yes,
gonna do this anymore. I'll just do
yes,
Saturday wine sip yoga and that's
yes, yes. We've discussed this.
yeah,
I've debated whether I even want to stay on.
right.
But then it's like something happens. I'm like, I can't leave,
I
you
can't.
know?
Yeah. And I
I'm
think
like,
that
I can't.
that's the point. It says, "Oh, you're running out of time." No,
Oh, wow, that was
I'm not
fast.
buying any more time. But what we will do is we'll
Okay.
schedule a part
Part
2.
two. Okay.
We'll schedule a part 2. We'll leave people wondering, what will they talk
Yeah.
about next?
Yeah. That'll be fun. I would love that. I would
Yeah, I
definitely
really
love that.
appreciate it. I keep going. Fred goes, "Are you going to pay for an upgrade?" I said, "I know." He said, "But you like to talk, so I don't know why you just don't pay for it." I said, "Yeah, I'm the only person that could get a job. Really, my livelihood was talking to people."
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. This is your niche. This is what you do.
Right, exactly. So anyway, honey, you have a good rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you
Okay.
so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this. This went by fast because
I
we
know,
talk
faster
every
than you
day.
think. I
Yeah.
know, right? It really does go by quick. So I will be in
Oh,
touch and we will
okay.
schedule again. We'll tell everybody we're scheduling again,
Yes,
people.
part two coming up. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, take it
All
easy,
right,
Rachel.
sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.